Test. Thanks, everybody. Welcome to the 4th annual Real Brothers Wear Pink and our 3rd Real Assembly celebrating Real Brothers Wear Pink. This is a really important campaign and piece that we all gather together for, recognizing something that affects so many people, not just women, but men, and also consider the family members who are affected as well. Today, I am so honored to have Giovanni Lisi back to speak with us. He was a real treat to have in class, an incredible student, and suffered an unimaginable loss as a student here at CBA. I've always been proud of the community here, the way that they rallied around G, and the support that people showed to him. And I'm even prouder of the man that he's becoming after being here with all of us, and thrilled to have him back here today. So I thank you in advance for all of your attention and respect that you pay to him as he shares his story. And we're also very lucky today to have members of the Capital District Men Wear Pink campaign, Real Men Wear Pink, and that's why we're Real Brothers who are wearing pink today as well. And with a few comments and opening remarks, I'd like to welcome John Durbagosian, CEO of Camelot Print and Copy Centers.
Hello, brothers. All right, first and foremost, I want to take the opportunity on behalf of not only our team Camelot Real Men Wear Pink group, but on the entire Capital Region's Real Men Wear Pink campaign to thank you guys for doing this, continue this 4th year going. This is awesome. I thank you very much for that. The main thing we're looking to point out when we do all this is the fact that, one, you don't know, men are affected 1 out of 833 with diagnosed with breast cancer. Anybody know that? You ever hear that? 1 out of 833 men. Women is 1 out of 8. And that's the huge thing we're trying to point out and get people aware of. The reason we do this for the entire month of October, so that we can go around and talk to all the ladies in our lives, your moms, your grandmothers, your sisters, your aunts, whomever, just to get them to get tested. Be aware. The sooner you get tested for breast cancer, the sooner you can get diagnosed for it. If you do have it, the better chance you have of beating it. And that's the whole reason we do this. And part of that, what we do is to be a real man that wear pink, one, we wear pink every day in the month of October. Not an easy task. I don't have 31 things of pink. I do now. I didn't before we started all this, but I do now. And you know, people see you wearing pink all the time. They're, what's that? Why are you wearing pink? And you just starts a conversation. You kind of get the awareness out there. To be a real man that wear pink in the Capital District, you have to commit to raising $2,500 at a minimum to be part of that. We have 4 in our group at Camelot. We committed to raise over $10,000 this year, and we have the last 3 years beaten that goal. And with the help of you guys, we've done that. The Real Brothers Wear Pink campaign, you guys, as of today, have helped raise $12,000 towards that campaign. And that money goes to great things just here in the Capital District. So great job, guys. That's awesome. So every dollar raised, where does it go? It saves lives with early detection programs, innovative breast cancer treatments, and there's other things out there, just the programs that go out there, the media campaigns, just to get people aware. So that's where that money goes. It's a huge medical testing that's going on right here in the Capital District. I think it's over $800,000 grant that was awarded to do more testing on how breast cancer spreads or how it does. And that's big for our district, and that's all from us raising money to bring awareness to breast cancer. This impact will continue to go on as we do this every year. And we're hoping that as you guys move on from school, that you'll remember this, maybe even when you guys come back You can talk about it. And when you come and talk about how breast cancer has affected lives with you and what we've done over the years to raise awareness, maybe the number is no longer 1 out of 8 women, maybe it's 1 out of 18 or 1 out of 80. And that's what we're progressing towards, and that's why we do this year after year. And again, thank you, brothers, for being a part of this. I'd like to introduce Giovanni Lisi, class of 2016, to come up and share a little bit more of his experience with this. Let's give him a big round of applause.
How we doing, fellow brothers? If you don't know me, my name is Giovanni Lisi. I graduated in the class of 2016. I was in your shoes not too long ago, so it's definitely, I feel old being up here, definitely for sure, and seeing the rest of the teachers here that I had really good relationships with, and overall had awesome support while I was here at CBA. As you all know, 1 in 6 women experience breast cancer at some point in their life. And every 2 minutes, a woman is diagnosed with breast cancer. But breast cancer just doesn't discriminate. It also is found in us men as well. So it's one thing to always keep your eye open for and to check, on occasion to see if you had any abnormalities on your own body or anything like that, and always to keep up with your health. It was not too long ago, I started here in 7th grade. That was back in 2010. So I feel very old being in here in 2021. I was just like you guys, wandering the hallways, kind of living my life here at CBA, making good friends, and kind of at that time, I always took, in a way, life for granted. I never, thought that cancer could ever affect me in my life. I had a lot of friends and family who experienced cancer, but it wasn't direct. It wasn't, a close family member as it did affect me. I remember the day like it was yesterday. I was a freshman here at CBA. Fast forward a few years and I was a freshman, and it was the month of September. And my mom was outside doing some yard work and felt a lump against her chest. And at that time, I didn't think much of it. I was kind of, at that point, thinking that it wasn't anything major. Maybe it was just some sort of bump and it was fine. I remember getting picked up from, my mom picking me up from the school bus that day and letting me know that she had stage 2 breast cancer. And at that time, I had so many emotions that were going through my head. I was scared, I didn't know what to expect, and it was more or less the fear of the unknown. And during that time, my mom underwent chemotherapy. She did 2 rounds of chemo and then radiation, and by the time my spring semester rolled around here at CBA, month of April, she lost all her hair and basically was through her treatments and had surgery to remove the lump. As time went on, she started to feel better, and her hair started to grow back. I took things for granted and figured her hair's back, life's back to normal, nothing else bad could ever happen. I went through my sophomore, junior year here at CBA, and around Christmas time of my junior year, my mom was putting away our Christmas decorations and was lifting a heavy box and thought she pulled a muscle in her back. So she experienced discomfort in her back for a few weeks and eventually found out that, she went through tests and they couldn't find what was wrong. And then eventually she found out that her cancer had come back and spread to her liver and her kidneys. I remember facing that news and I was really blown away. I was thinking back and said, wow, like my mom looked healthy, everything seemed fine, but eventually her cancer did go ahead and spread to another part of her body. So when cancer spreads from one organ to another, it's classified as stage 4 breast cancer. And hearing that news was definitely it made me scared again. And again, I did not know what the future would hold. I remember the day that my mom told me. I went back to school the next day, and most of my teachers already knew because my mom kind of preempted them. And I had overwhelming support, even when my mom first was diagnosed with breast cancer. But at that time, I had the support not only of my fellow teachers here at CBA, but also those in my class. It was right around midterm time when we were taking our midterm exams. I remember a lot of my teachers kind of giving me the option of if I wanted to take my exam or not. But coming from a family that never quits, my mom and dad said, no, you're taking your exams. And I think those teachers in here who knew my mom would never let me kind of get out of an exam on her dime, that's for sure. So she was pretty hard on not only me, but also some of my teachers here at CBA. But during that time, I went back home and was supporting my mom throughout the month of February, basically, while she was admitted into St. Peter's Hospital and undergoing her next round of chemotherapy. During that time, she faced many different challenges that didn't allow her to really go home because she needed a nurse's aid. Well, at that time, the hospital came to a point after her being there for about a week. They said, there's not much more that we can do for you. You have to go home. My mom lasted 2 days at home until she was readmitted back into the hospital to continue her chemotherapy treatments. I remember that was right around the time of February break. So a lot of my friends were going away to Florida and enjoying their life. And I was stuck home, really spending a lot of time with my mom. And that time I look back on and was very grateful for. My mom went through many rounds of chemo, and a lot of my friends from CBA and also their parents came and visited my mom, which was awesome to have that support. I remember the day me and my dad had to tour the hospice floor at St. Peter's Hospital. It was one really depressing day, I could tell you that. And me and my dad went walking around the floor and did not really know what to expect. There are a lot of people, if you don't know what hospice is, it's basically a point in time where the hospice floor makes them comfortable until they ultimately pass away. And I knew at that point that things weren't looking good for my mom. And eventually, she slowly went into a medical-induced coma. I remember being at St. Peter's and watching my mom slowly decay over time, which was very sad and depressing, but I was able to spend those last moments with her. I remember leaving that night, the night before she passed away, and we were able to spend a lot of time with my mom, and my dad ended up staying the night. I remember that middle of the night, him waking me up and letting me know that my mom ultimately passed away from breast cancer. Breast cancer, I would have never thought would impact me in my life, but it did. And it's something that has grown and has helped me grow into the person I am today through that loss. Well, one thing that came most importantly out of this whole entire kind of experience, and not many people know this, and maybe some of the faculty here at CBA don't know this, but when I truly experienced awesome brotherhood was when, really after my mom passed away. Those following days to come, I was overwhelmed with support. I remember it vividly. Dr. Schlegel and Mr. O'Leary and a few other faculty members put together a school bus, 2 school bus loads of CBA students and fellow cadets who were in their dress blues doing color guard and stuff like that for my mom's funeral, which was at Christ the King Church in Guilderland. They filled up 2 pews. It was pretty much as many students that are in this gym right now were at my mom's funeral. And it was really amazing to see my fellow classmates there in support of me. So that's one thing that I will say that no other school here in the Capital Region will give to you is true brotherhood and true support. I don't think there would be any other school in the area that would do something like that. But I appreciate you all having me here today. My one word of advice and wisdom to you all is never take life for granted. You never know when it's your last day or anything like that. I live each day like it's my last. I try my hardest in everything that I do, due to my mom ultimately passing away and knowing that her life was taken short. One thing I also ask of you, if you go home today, whether it's your mom, dad, whoever supports you back at home, give them a hug and let them know that you love them, because they truly give a true sacrifice to send you to this awesome school. And with my closing words, I ultimately say, you experience many highs and lows in life. It depends on how you react to those highs and lows that make you the person you are ultimately. And that's basically kind of what I have summed up. So thank you for having me, and go Brothers.
Guys, we do a lot of things throughout the year in service, but
I think as you heard today, if you look at a lot of the service projects that we do, we benefit in some way directly. But this is probably the most unselfish service project we do because it's really not about us directly. It's about people that we love. It could be about us, but chances are 99 out of 100, it's about a woman. And we're all here, we're all on this earth because of a woman. And so for our moms, our wives, our daughters, grandmothers, aunts, all the women that are important to us in our lives, we do this. So I think this is the most unselfish and one of the most important things that we do. I want to thank Giovanni, and I want to say that I think he hit the nail on the head when he talked about how, the relationship that he had with his classmates. He may have felt like he was just a regular student walking around the hall, but he was honestly somebody that everybody here, the students, the faculty, I think everybody really liked him, and they wanted to be there for him. And one of the best things that we can do when we're going through a tough time, when one of us is going through a tough time, I think one of the things that young men know how to do is to just be there for each other. And I'm glad that Giovanni felt that while he was here. And I know many of you have gone through a tough time here, and hopefully you felt the same thing from your classmates. So thank you for this service project. One more round of applause for Giovanni and standing up here and delivering such a powerful statement. I'd like to thank Mr. Derbogogian for kind of spearheading this and bringing this campaign to CBA. Thanks for letting us be a part of your team, and as an alumni dad, always, for a long time has been close to this community, but we're glad that he asked us to be a part of his team, and we're grateful for that. So thank you to Mr. Derbogogian, the Derbogogian family, to Camelot, and I think Giovanni said it best. Go Brothers.
Thank you, Giovanni. I was one of those teachers when Giovanni was a junior. He took his midterm. He did pretty well on it, too, I remember. So he was a hardworking kid, and it's amazing to see the man that he's become through everything. So he's what we ask you to be. So thank you very much, G. We really appreciate it. Thank you for your cooperation and for listening. It's tough if you don't know someone in your life that has been affected by cancer. It's hard for us to relate, but this isn't for just those who have been affected. It's for the possibility that we may be in the future. And knowing that you have this community around you, your fellow brothers, teachers, staff, administration, where we all bleed purple and gold for each other, okay? So remember that. You're a part of this family. At this point in time, we're going to start dismissing classes back to your 9th period class. We're going to dismiss with closing prayer and announcements over the loudspeaker. I would ask all the seniors just to stay here on the floor in your seats, okay, when we dismiss. So at this point in time, we're going to ask the sophomore classes. We'll start, hold on. We're going to start with Mr. De Palma, and Brother James's class, and those two sections of the bleachers can go first. People who are watching on the live stream, please just sit tight. We haven't forgot about you. Can I ask Mr. Stanton's class, Ms. Sayers' class, and the rest of the classes that are in these bleachers, you can start to make your way back. Juniors, the majority of you are exiting out to the 500 wing. So let's start with Mr. Lewicki's class and Mr. Boyan's class. And the rest of the junior classes, you can make your way back as well. Please remember.